What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got quite a few of the cards from the One Piece film Starter Deck. That's Starter Deck 5, which is going to be coming out fairly soon. We've got a few of the cards from there. Now, we don't have the full set list. We do have the leader, which is big. From now on with the Starter Decks, that's always going to be the first card we look for pretty obvious reasons. And we've got 8 cards in total, in addition to the leader. So we've got 9 of the 17, so we've got about half the starter deck. No, that doesn't give us complete knowledge of the starter deck, and I'm not going to sit here for a second and pretend that it does. However, I do think it's fair to say that that gives us a pretty good look at the starter deck, and it tells us quite a lot about it, and you know what? That sounds pretty good to me. So starting off then with the aforementioned leader, I should mention translations do come from the lovely folks over at onepiece-cardgame.dev. We like those lovely folks. They are, as I did mention a moment ago, lovely folks. And what we've got here is Shanks, who you may recognise from the secret rares from Romance Dawn. And we got 5,000 power, 5 life, a purple leader. And again, 5,000 power, 5 life is what we expect from a mono colour leader. And activate main once per turn, Don -3, shuffle 3 Don back into your deck. Your film type characters gain 2,000 power during this turn. Well, I'll be honest with you, as a general rule, we see an extra 1,000 power. That's what we tend to see from these kind of skills. So, extra 2,000 power? Yeah, I'm down with that, ladies and gentlemen. I am down with that. You do have to shuffle Don back, and Purple have a bunch of ways of playing extra Don, but that's still going to catch up with you over the course of the game. Now, Uta here, what we've got is a 4-cost 5,000 power character with counter plus 1,000, and you've got blocker, and when you block Don -1, shuffle a Don back into your deck, rest up to one of your opponent's characters that costs 5 or less. Cool. Sounds good to me, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds good to me. You're basically suspending your opponent's characters or resting them. And remember, that means you can attack them, whereas if they're active, you can't. And it means that if they're a blocker, they're not able to block, etc. So this is pretty cool. I don't like that we've seen 2 cards and they're both asking us to put Don back. But you know what? This still seems like a very useful skill, and even if you ignore that, you've still got a pretty powerful blocker, which is quite nice. Worth noting, this is designated as a super rare, so it's going to be a holo, but you're probably only going to get 2 copies of it. Remember, the starter decks, you get 2 copies of some cards, 4 of others, meaning you've got to buy 2 copies of each deck. This is going to be a 2 of. Now, Karina here, we got 2 cost 3,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and activate main once per turn, rest this character. You may trash 1 film type character from your hand, and if your opponent has more Don cards on the field than you add 2 Don cards from your Don deck and rest them. And this is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This is great. And the reason this is so great is because the 2 cards we've seen so far ask you to shuffle Don back into your deck. That ain't good. Here, if your opponent's got more Don than you do, and there's a pretty good chance they will because of the whole you're shuffling it back into your deck thing, then you get an extra couple of Don. And sure, they come out rested, so you can't use them to pay for cards this turn, but that is going to help you massively as you go through the game. And it is just an every turn thing on a 2-cost character, which is really, really nice. Do bear in mind you do have to trash a film type character from your hand though, and it may well turn out that over the course of the game you do start running out. Now, Gild Tesoro here? Let's go for that. We've got 5 cost, 6,000 power, and when attacking, Don -2, draw 2 cards. So here again we're shuffling Don back, which isn't ideal, but we are drawing cards, and One Piece so far at least, with the cards we've seen, isn't a card game with a huge amount of draw power. So this allowing you to draw some extra cards, it's clearly a good thing, it's a useful thing, it's a happy thing. We like this, go team. Although, continually shuffling Don back, sooner or later, that is going to come and bite you. You've got to make sure you've got an engine for getting all that Don back out. Sure, we've got Karina that helps, and there's probably some other cards as well. Remember, we're only looking at half the deck here. Now, Shiki here, 6 cost, 7,000 power, counter plus 1,000. If you have 8 or more Don cards on your field, this character cannot be KO'd in battle. I love this. Partly I love it because it's a 7,000 power character, which means, bearing in mind, when you're attacking the leader, you need to be more powerful than them in order to get an attack through and take away their life. And if there is a tie, we know that the tiebreaker goes to the attacker. So essentially what we've got here is a way to have a character that can just, sit here and not be KO'd, and you got 7,000 power, so you're probably going to be able to get a couple of attacks through. The thing is, you got to have 8 Don on the field, which is a lot. Remember, there's only 10 Don cards in your Don deck, and it's in a deck where you're constantly shuffling Don cards back in. You see where we're going here? I like this. If you can keep Don on the field, this seems good. Now, Z comes in here, 7 cost, 8,000 power. If this character battles with a strike attribute character, that is the symbol in the top right-hand corner, like Z himself has strike, this character gains 3,000 power for the turn. Bearing in mind, you've already got 8,000 power to begin with. You're going to be more powerful than most. Going up to 11, at least with the game as it is at the moment, 11,000 power is stupid high. That is ridiculous. And also activate main once per turn, Don -1. This character gains 2,000 power during this turn. So basically, you can turn this pretty easily into a 13,000 power character. And to put it simply, you're not getting countered. You can be blocked, but you're not getting countered. It is going to take a lot for your opponent to counter all the way up to beat a 13,000 power character. And the reality is they're just not going to do it. It's not going to work. This is kind of huge, but also very expensive. Now Douglas Bullet comes in. Now this is another super rare, you can tell from the border. So this is another one that is going to come in as a 2 of, but is going to be all shiny, so we've got that. Now again, we're talking stupid expensive here, 8 cost, but we're talking stupid powerful 10,000. And we got activate main once per turn, Don -4. Rest up to 2 of your opponent's cost 6 or lower characters. Remember, with the game as it is at the moment with the cards we've seen, that is the majority of characters. And then this character gains double attack during this turn. Well, obviously you're resting blockers here. Simple as that. Like, don't get me wrong, there are other things you can do here. Resting other characters is fun because you can rest them so that you can attack them with other characters, etc. But double attack means you take out 2 life rather than 1. So clearly the goal here is extremely simple. You return 4 Don to your deck, which, as I keep mentioning, is a lot. You then rest your opponent's blockers and then get an attack through. If you've got 10,000 power, the leader is probably not going to counter up to stop you. And then you get to take away 2 of their life. This is big, ladies and gentlemen. This is very, very big. Oh yeah, and then, the double attack. It's really good. But there is a real theme with this deck, which is expensive good characters and returning Don to your deck. There needs to be something which is just piling Don out. And I know you get an extra 2 at the start of every turn, so potentially with Karina that's 4 Don every turn played from your Don deck, and maybe that's enough, but I am skeptical. Now we then have the 1 cost character, Buena Fiesta, 0 power, 2,000 counter, and when you play you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal a film type card that is not Buena Fiesta, and add it to your hand, then return the other cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Bearing in mind, this could be the thing that gets you the film type card to discard with Karina to get some extra Don on the field, as an example, or it could just go and search out Douglas Bullet, who of course is an absolute beast in the late game, so this works very nicely indeed. And then finally, we've got an event card, the 2 cost Union Armado. It's a counter. Up to 1 of your film type leader or characters gains 4,000 power during this battle. If that card is a character, that character cannot be KO'd during this turn. So once again, you can get up to absurd levels of power here, while also making sure that you cannot be KO'd during this turn. That is a lot. Oh yeah, and if it comes out as a trigger, you just put a Don card from your Don deck to active. You know what? Yeah. This is a kind of card I would not mind coming out as a trigger. Getting me an active Don that I can then use pretty much straight away sounds good to me. And that's what we've got for Starter Deck 5, the film Starter Deck at the moment. Like I've said, this is only 9 of the 17 cards. There's going to be a bunch more. But for now, this gives us a pretty good look at the deck, and you're already seeing how the deck works. There are some very expensive, powerful cards, which, to be fair, does seem like the way Purple tends to roll. We've got lots of returning Don, which is the way Purple tend to roll, but we have got a couple ways of mitigating it. Is Shanks going to be a good enough leader to really make a difference in the metagame? I'm skeptical for the moment, but I think it's fun to sit here and try and figure it out, and you never know. I love being wrong about this stuff. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.